Hi, welcome to the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal video. My name is Danny Milton, and today we're going to be flying the Mavic 3. So just a couple of days ago, the new firmware came out for the Mavic 3. We weren't expecting the firmware to come out until mid to late January. So some of the features that are in the new firmware update are Active Track, Spotlight, and POI. So I use Active Track a lot for my videos, and I've also done a lot of testing. I did several videos with the Mavic Air 2. If you want to see that playlist, you can click on that link right there. I tested it in the park, at the beach. You know, this was Active Track 4.0. I did it in my car, my mountain bike, whole series, and also how-tos and tutorials on how to use Active Track 4.0. So now we have the Mavic 3 with Active Track 5.0, and I just recently released a video. You can click that link right there. You want to watch that one. That's pretty much my initial use using Active Track 5.0. I was on my mountain bike here in Orange County, and it did a pretty good job. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is using Spotlight mode. Now the difference between Active Track and Spotlight is Active Track is an autonomous flying mode. You know, once you lock on to your subject in Active Track, the drone will fly itself automatically. In Spotlight mode, what that is, it's a manual flight mode. So it starts off kind of the same as Active Track. You're going to lock onto your subject, but you actually have to fly the remote. So you can put the drone in any angle at any height that you want to. You know, if you have a subject, you know, I've done several videos in my truck. You can fly, you know, the drone from the front, from the side, high, low, whatever. And really quickly too, you'll do a couple of POI shots. That's point of interest. You can lock onto anything, you know, building, a tree, a car, and the drone will fly circles around that. And you can also change the speed and the height or elevation that the drone will fly at while it's circling your subject. Okay, so we got the drone in the air. We're going to draw the box around our truck. You can see that we've got the box now, and at the bottom of that little square you can see the car icon. So if you're in Active Track, you can click the little car icon right there, and you can have the drone follow you from the front, from the back, left, right, or any of the other angles. If you put your finger on that car icon and slide to the left, you can see that's where you find parallel mode. So you can see Spotlight mode there is highlighted. So basically in Spotlight mode, you can fly the drone wherever you want, and wherever you put the drone, the camera will keep your subject in focus. See, we're flying back a little bit, we're flying to the left side, and it keeps that camera on your subject. You can fly towards, we can move around to the back side, we can go down lower, we can go up higher, we can back off, get really far back, change that, change our elevation, we can sweep out to the right, to the left, all of that kind of stuff. So whatever angle that you want to get with your subject, you can do that in Spotlight mode. So once we start moving here, we're going to be driving up this small hill. You have to keep flying the drone. The drone will not fly itself. So we're going to have to be increasing in elevation and also following the vehicle at the same time. It's going to be all screen recording. You can see the speed that the drone is following at. We're going to be driving at about 15-20 miles per hour ish. We do need to keep increasing our elevation because we are going uphill. So right now we're about from the side. Let's kind of sweep over, get from the right side a little bit, see if we can catch up and get ahead. Now that's the one thing too in Spotlight mode, is when you're tracking a subject, it's hard to get ahead and get in front of that subject. Right now we're in normal mode, so I'm not exactly sure how fast the drone's gonna fly. It looks like we lost our subject right there. So we're gonna let the truck pass by us, and oh, it doesn't. Okay, so started to lose us there for a second. So you can see now we're coming from the left hand side of the vehicle. Now we're going downhill, so I will have to decrease in altitude. You know, you can increase your altitude and kind of fly back if you want to get a real, you know, far back shot. You can see we're still locked on pretty good distance away from our vehicle. Kind of flying just straight sideways right now. Let's back up. So now, because we're far enough away, we can get around to the front of the vehicle. And I'm turning the drone a little bit, just rotating it, letting it sit where we are, and just kind of following the vehicle. So you can see right now in the Spotlight mode, we can record at the C4K or 4K or at 1080p. We can't do 5.1K. We do have all of our speeds here in C4K up to 60 frames. In 4K, we have up to 60 frames. And in 1080, we have up to 60 frames as well. No 120 frames for any type of tracking mode like this. Okay, so now this time we're still in Spotlight mode. I'm gonna try and stay in front of the truck and record from the front. I'm really depending on the sensors for me not to crash into something, because I'm having to fly backwards and go uphill at the same time and not crash. So the truck's only going about 15 miles per hour right now because it's kind of difficult to fly backwards and increase the elevation. And you can see we got a lot of mountain bikers on this road going up to the luge. Trying not to get too high because I know we do have some power lines right here above us. But you can see you can stay in front of the subject pretty well. You know, on a windy road like this, it's hard to stay directly in front, especially having to increase elevation at the same time. I don't want to go much higher though, because we do have those power lines. But you can see you can record from the front as well. You know, that's a great thing about Spotlight, is you can just lock onto a subject, and wherever that subject goes, you can get any angle that you want. So this time we're chasing the car at a much lower angle, trying to keep up. Now here's the problem is the drone is sensing that those bushes to the left are close, and it was slowing down my forward speed, so I wasn't able to keep up with the car. This drone has a very large bubble as far as how fast it's going to let you drive, or how fast it's going to let you fly. So I'm going to try and keep the drone as low as possible. It's probably about 15 feet off the ground, and I've got the stick pushed all the way forward. And because the drone is sensing, you know, the ground and the trees around us, it's only letting me fly, what is about 14 miles per hour right now. We are going uphill, so I have to keep flying, keep increasing the altitude. Now if I go up higher, all of a sudden the drone can fly a lot faster. So that bubble of safety, those vision sensors, are not letting me fly at the same amount of speed with the drone closer to the ground. But we get up high and we've got a much faster drone. Okay, so we're gonna go down the hill. We've got the drone up relatively high, so it shouldn't be slowed down at all. And you can see the truck, we're going about 24, 25 miles per hour. The drone is maxing out probably at about 25, looks like 26. But we are able to fly it at, you know, full speed in normal mode. Now, if we were to switch to sport mode, we could probably go much faster while we're tracking in Spotlight, but I'm not going to do that today because there's just too many things, too many power lines and trees and stuff like that. So Spotlight was working great. Tracking my truck up and down this hill, it was working really well. The sensors are going to slow the drone down if you're getting too close to objects. You know, when I was trying to follow from behind the vehicle at a very low altitude, it knew how close the ground was and the bushes to the right of us, and I wasn't able to fly the drone at its full speed while it was tracking us. All right, so really quickly for POI mode, we got the drone in the air. Obviously, we're in normal mode. We're going to draw a box around our vehicle. You can see that the box is there. We've got the truck icon. If for some reason you draw a box around your subject and you don't see either the person icon or the truck icon, the drone's not locked onto you. It's locked onto that point on the ground. So you need to X that box out and redraw it until you get one of those two icons. We're in a truck or a vehicle, so you can see that vehicle icon there. We're going to tap POI, and now you can see you can have the drone slide to the right, slide to the left. You can slide the bar up if you want that circle to go faster, or slide it down to go slower. You can go either way, left or to the right. We'll do an easy one there. Whatever altitude that you set the drone at before you hit the go button is the altitude that it's going to stay at. Now we have the sensors turned on because we've got a lot of trees, so as it's doing this circle, we have to kind of, you know, let the sensors do its thing. We do have this big tree over to our left here. Move the drone a little bit farther out. You do have control of the drone while it's doing that POI, doing that circle. You can increase the elevation like that. We can pull out a little bit farther, but while you're doing that, it'll keep doing that circled rotation around your subject. If for some reason you wanted to slow it down or circle from the other side, we can do that. Mid-flight, you can do all these things. You can see, you know, I'm touching the screen and doing that. Swept it back around. We can come in a little bit closer if we want, push forward on the stick. The drone is going to circle us and hopefully not hit that big tree that we're going around there on the right. So it did automatically go up a little bit higher to get over that tree. I wasn't touching the sticks at that point. And now you can see it's kind of coming back to that same distance or height that it was previously before it flew up over that tree. And you can just keep doing this all day. You can, you know, you can do POI on a person, on a building, on a tree, on a flag, anything that you can lock onto. The drone will fly around and do all this stuff automatically. So let's say we wanted to just do a POI of this treetop right here. We're locked onto it just like that. Pull away a little bit, hit POI. We can rotate out to the left, quick speed. And, you know, if that was a building or a flagpole or whatever you wanted to do your point of interest circle on, you just lock on like that. And the drone will automatically fly around that particular spot that you locked onto. So the drone did great using Spotlight and POI. You know, it did everything that I wanted it to. It reacted great. You know, it kept the vehicle in frame the entire time. So my previous video was using Active Track 5.0. That was my just initial test. Just like this is just my initial test using Spotlight and POI. You know, I plan on going out to the desert and really pushing to see just how far and how fast the drone will be able to track us in normal mode and in sport mode as well. Hopefully DJI will be adding some more kind of control features to the Active Track and Spotlight and POI in the future. But for right now, just initially, Spotlight and POI are working great. So do all that fun stuff for me, please. Smash that like button, share, comment, definitely subscribe to the channel. Make sure once you subscribe that you click that bell notification, because we're going to be doing a bunch more videos using this drone, you know, in Active Track and sport mode and all the different types of stuff. I'll be going out to the desert. I'm going to be doing more stuff on my mountain bike. So if you click that bell notification, you will get notified when those new videos come out. And last but not least, click on one of the boxes in the corners. One will take you to the Mavic 3 playlist, the other to the Mavic Air 2 playlist, and you can click the icon over there, the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal logo, to subscribe. Thanks a lot.